What is going on, guys? Your boy Joe with Shake72 coming to you guys with a video right now. So we just heard Nick Sirianni one-on-one interview with Dave Spadaro. Have to say, kind of impressed by the way he talks about things and what he wants for this Philadelphia Eagles team. I think there's two things that are really important here, and one of them is obviously what we wanted to know was the play calling. He said that he is, quote-unquote, calling all the plays. That he will be calling the plays this year. So we didn't know, because he's being a head coach, how much, is Shane Steichen going to have, how much control of the play calling. It just seems like the offensive coordinator and Shane Steichen is going to be more of a game planner and obviously help with matchups and stuff like that, game planning throughout the week. But it seems like Nick Sirianni will be the play caller in 2021 for the Philadelphia Eagles. You have guys like Dan Campbell from the Lions that come out with these rah-rah speeches that really get you pumped up. But I got to tell you, intellectually, Nick Sirianni is a very smart guy. I could tell by the way he talks. I could tell just by the talking about fundamentals with the offense. And, he talked about Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts and how he likes two quarterbacks, and kind of said, kind of made some sense when he pretty much said, there's other rosters out there where, they go out in free agency and get, they spend a lot of money but don't have that quarterback, and he said we have two quarterbacks here that are very good. Now, obviously he's not going to say that they're bad, but we're fortunate to have two quarterbacks that have a lot of playing time, especially with Jalen Hurts as well, starting near the end of the year, and had a couple good games, and had a good game for himself against Arizona. The rest of the team played horrible, and then obviously fell really short, not playing well against the Cowboys. So obviously talked about those two quarterbacks, and the other thing I want to talk about is accountability, and he's holding the coaches accountable, himself accountable, his players accountable for everything. I mean, there was a tweet from 2019 when he was with the Colts, and during a 11-on-11 offense, practice, and he yelled at one of his players. I mean, saying to know your SHIT, meaning the playbook. I mean, he yelled at his players, and on the outside, Nick Sirianni looks like a great guy, but I know inside that he's a very he's got that edge to him, and I could definitely see that in him. I'm kind of going on the fly with this video because I kind of watched it, and I was really impressed just by his demeanor and how he takes, what combinations of players work together. And they asked him about the draft and free agency, how much say he's going to have with the roster. And, Nick Sirianni thought what I kind of thought he was going to say, and pretty much said it's a collective effort throughout everybody, which I do believe everyone has a say. And I think things are changing maybe a little bit. I think Howie's on a short leash this year, his last year on this contract with the Philadelphia Eagles as the general manager. But Nick, I got to say, it's all about fundamentals. It's all about identity with this offense, and not even just with the offense. He talked about the defense and Jonathan Gannon, that players are going to want to play for Jonathan Gannon. He's a very energetic coach. He gets you out of your seat. He said a lot of great things about his defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, and he, says that, these are, and all the guys that were hired around him pretty much said that, they're great people, they're great teachers, they're great mentors. And what I could find out really cool about it is that most of these, especially on the offensive side of the ball with the passing game coordinator from the Colts that we got, I forgot his name, and getting Shane Steichen and, these guys that he used to work with, all of these guys have been offensive coordinators or QB coaches or wide receiver coaches. Maybe not. Maybe I think Sirianni's the only one that maybe has worked with wide receivers, but they all have had their time as a coordinator, had their time as a quarterback coach, have worked with quarterbacks. Between our head coach, our offensive coordinator, and our passing game coordinator have really developed quarterbacks really well. And Nick Sirianni mentioned Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers, was the 3-time Pro Bowler with the Chargers, and that was for 3 years. And then, coming to the Colts, like, no one really expected Philip Rivers, and I didn't really expect him to play well. But I think he really needed a new background, new culture, new team, just new everything. Like everything was in place for this quarterback in Phillip Rivers, and they put the right pieces around him. So there's a lot of good things to take from this little one-on-one. I know like the media is going to be killing him tomorrow at 12 o'clock, but he doesn't have to come out like Dan Campbell or some of these guys, some of these coaches, and say, we're going to break their necks and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. He doesn't have to do that. Intellectually, I know this guy is really smart with an offense, okay? Between all the news that's come out that Nick Sirianni's interested in the wide receiver position because he played it in college or whatever. He played the position. He's all about the routes. The news that I was seeing just from what he was saying is just everything that I wanted to hear from Doug Peterson the past few years. But never, it was the same answer every week. It was, we got to get better, and that's it. You know what I mean? And, we haven't seen this guy lose a game or win a game yet. But at the same time, intellectually, this guy is really tough. He doesn't have to show me that hoorah mentality. But I know on the outside, he is a nice guy. On the inside, he is a fearsome coach that is going to hold everybody accountable, and nothing is going to be satisfied unless it's literally perfect with this head coach. I'm just going on the fly with this because I'm going through the motions because of just the way he was talking. And man, I could literally sit there and listen to him talk about football for hours. And there were some things, talking about his old coaches, and there was a lot of good things to take out of it. So I don't know what you guys thought about it, but I thought obviously we're gonna hear more tomorrow, which I'm very excited for. And Nick Sirianni, man, he's got a really big task in front of him. He knows what he's up against, and obviously the NFC East, the rival teams and everyone in the league, is going to take us lightly next year. As long as this team comes out swinging next year, and at least they try to attempt to knock teams down, I'm fine with it. And I think this is the right coach. I think this is the right hire. I think the Eagles literally scored big on Nick Sirianni becoming the head coach, but not even just that, bringing in the guys he knows. They're not his best friends. They've worked well together. He's got really good working relationships with all these guys that he's brought with him to Philadelphia, because a lot of the fans are saying the Philadelphia Colts, because we literally have took almost everything away from the Colts literally in 2 years, that they've had new coaches. So I think this is good, and I really admired and felt like this guy is I give him my respect. I take my hat off to what he knows and how he wants to do things, and it's just nice to hear another voice in a head coach and hear Doug say the same old stuff over and over again. And obviously he's going to put it to work and see what happens, but he's got a lot of things he needs to fix and a lot of issues. This team is not going to stray away from trying to win, because they are trying their hardest, and Nick, is going to try his hardest to put a good roster together in 2021. So I'm very happy about it, very happy. So obviously accountability, holding everybody accountable. And talking about practice, he talked about practice. He's like, Monday through Saturday are like the most important days of the week. He said, you win the week, Monday through Saturday. He's like, that's where we get prepared. And then when you get to a game, I want guys to feel prepared when they get to a game on Sunday. Don't feel confused. Like, I'm telling you, this guy is going to be on everybody. He's going to be on every positional coach. He's going to be on every player. He says he's been watching film on every single player on this active roster right now, between the quarterbacks, the defense, what we have right now, the blocking of every offensive lineman we have right now. So honestly, he's looking at everything, every possible thing right now. And that's good. And I'm glad to actually hear what he's doing, and just saying, oh, we're looking to have a good season, and just the PR words that come out of his mouth from every coach on their first press conference. But I got to say, intellectually, this guy is really tough. He's tough inside. I could definitely see the Philly tough inside of him. And very happy to say this is my head coach. as of right now. I know we haven't played a game, and people are gonna already say he's gonna be nothing this year. And those Eagles fans, they just don't, nothing. They can never be happy with anything. So just don't want. Or this video's already over 10 minutes, so I don't want to make it too much longer. But hey, appreciate you guys listening. Comment below if you just what you. I don't know if you guys watched or not. So let me know what you guys think about Nick Sirianni so far. Can't wait to hear more at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So. Very happy about that. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. Shakes go up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.